Hello friends, are you ready for more traveling and adventures? Today we're going to Finland, a beautiful country in Northern Europe. But before we start, here's a fun fact about Finland. The UN says that Finland is the happiest country in the world. That's right, Nordic countries are in general always on the top of this list, but last year Finnish got to prove that they are the happiest. That's so sweet. If you want to learn more about Finland, don't forget to download the activity pack in the description below. You can also watch our video about Lapland. Now let's continue with the adventure. The Republic of Finland is in the north of Europe and is surrounded by Sweden to the west, Russia to the east, Norway to the north, and the Gulf of Finland to the south. This means that Finland is one of the 5 Nordic countries. Do you know what the other 4 are? These are Denmark, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Yes, their flags look so similar. Speaking of flags, let's take a look at Finland's flag. It's a white rectangle with a blue cross that spreads across the edge and represents Finland's heritage linked with the other Nordic countries. The white represents the snow that covers the entire country during the winter, and the blue represents the many lakes found all over the country. Trust me, there are a lot. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's talk a little about the Finnish people. Finnish people are super sincere, warm, and genuine. Some people think that Finnish people are introverted and reserved, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Finns are talkative and hospitable, and they also like to joke a lot, especially about the myth of them being shy and reserved. Finnish people sound like fun, don't you think? But how are you going to communicate with them? Well, the 2 main official languages of Finland are Swedish and, obviously, Finnish. To say hello in Finnish, we say hei, and to say goodbye, we say näkemiin. To be polite with others, we can say ole kiltti, which means please, and kiitos, to say thank you. Repeat after me. Go on. Ole kiltti and kiitos. Oh, but when meeting someone, don't forget to say hauska tavata, which means nice to meet you. Now let's count together. Are you ready? Here we go. 1 is iksi, 2 is koksi, 3 is kolme, 4 is neljä, and 5, last one, is visi. Good job. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the beautiful landscapes. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of lakes in Finland. Almost 190,000. No wonder why sometimes the country is referred to as the land of 1,000 lakes. It's way more than 1,000. One of the most famous lakes in Finland is the Kypsijärvi, where the borders of Finland, Sweden, and Norway meet together. And if you go a little up to the north, you can find Halti Mountain, which at almost 4,400 feet is Finland's highest point. Now, you're probably not familiarized with this place, but maybe your parents or grandparents are. The Moomin world is located on the island of Kailo in southwest Finland, and everything here is based on the hippo-like creatures known as the Moomins, created by Finnish illustrator Tove Jansson. These adorable characters starred in 9 books, 5 picture books, and a long-running comic strip, along with their many TV appearances. The Moomin World theme park is open daily from mid-June to mid-August, and its main attraction is the blueberry-colored Moomin House. But probably the most famous Finnish landscapes and their breathtaking snowy forests. You can find beautiful trees and cozy cottages covered with a lot of snow and ice in places like the Ylanka National Park, the Palasi Lestinturi National Park, and the Pie Luosto National Park. These places are magical, and you will definitely love them. If we're talking about snowy places, we can't ignore Lapland, the northernmost part of Finland. Every season in Finnish Lapland is uniquely different from the other, especially when we consider that there's 24-hour sunlight in the summer and gorgeous northern lights in the dark days of the winter. Do you want to know more? Don't miss our next video when we learn more about Lapland. But hold on just a minute. What are the Northern Lights? Also known as auroras and polar lights, the Northern Lights are a natural display in the sky, predominantly seen in Nordic countries and in the North Pole. Auroras display dynamic and beautiful patterns of brilliant lights that appear as curtains, rays, or spirals covering the entire sky. Amazing! What do you say if we take a look at the cute animals that live in these cold places? Since 74% of Finland's territory is covered by forests, you can bet that there are a lot of furry friends in here. The most common animals you can find in Finland are the gray wolf, snowy owl, the classic Santa Claus helper reindeer, and so many more animals. But the most popular Finnish animal is the Eurasian brown bear. despite being dangerous to some remote populations. Brown bears are recognized as Finland's official national animal. In ancient times, Finns believed that bears were simultaneously related to humans and divine beings. That's so cool. Talking about animals got me hungry. This is a good moment to talk about Finnish food. And what better way to start than talking about Finland's national dish, the Karelian stew. It's a traditional meat stew originating from the region of Karelia, and it's commonly prepared with a combination of pork and beef, but elk or lamb can also be used. Another great example is the Karelian pasties, which are like Finnish versions of pizza. Imagine, these tasty delicacies are filled with mashed potatoes or rice pudding. Delicious. Now, what about the candy? Finland is well known for Salmiakki, which is basically salty licorice. That's right, the most famous Finnish candy is salty. This licorice is flavored with salmiakki salt, and so popular in Finland, you can find not only sweets but also milkshakes, sauces, ice cream, cakes, and muffins flavored with salmiakki. What do you think? Would you give this one a try? By the way, did you know that Finns love their coffee? That's right, Finns consume more coffee than any other country in not just Europe, but the whole world. Drinking 8 cups of coffee per day would not be considered unusual in Finland. And speaking about Finnish people love, they are crazy, and I mean crazy about saunas. They love them so much that technically there are more saunas than cars in Finland. If you don't know what a sauna is, they're basically small rooms that are heated to very high temperatures. They usually have wooden interiors and people use them to relax. Saunas are so important to Finnish people that even a Burger King in Helsinki has a sauna. Imagine that. Now that we're mentioning what Finns do to relax, let's talk a little bit about their sports. Finland's national sport is called pesäpallo, which literally means nest ball. This sport is very similar to baseball, and it's also popular in Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, Austria, and Canada's Northern Ontario. However, the most unique Finnish sports are some of the craziest things you could ever think of, like the wife carrying championship. This funny sport consists of a man carrying his wife on his back or shoulders while he goes as fast as he can through a small obstacle course. Look at them go! Other crazy sports are the mosquito hunting competition, mobile phone throwing, and air guitar. Yes, they are exactly what you think, and in Finland, they're totally legit sports. Do you like hobby horses? Because in Finland, riding is also a sport. You just have to grab your hobby horse and go through a small horse course as fast as possible. That's so funny. Well, friends, that's just some of the endless fun you can find in Finland. If you want to visit, don't forget to pack some warm clothing because the weather can get really cold. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget you can subscribe to see more. Hyvästi ystävät. That's Finnish for ciao, friends.